send-off party or a send-off dinner.
I don't know if we're going to go tomorrow.
We're going tomorrow?
There's a marina. Somebody's conference showing off. It's a Corvette. Look at that. They did that. Now they got something over there for the veterans to look at.
Corvette.
That one. Not, or there's a Corvette this.
They're all wearing what grandpa's wears. Jeans and
You're gonna sing and gonna make a speech in there honoring the veteran.
Are you sure you did not think he's there or something? I don't think it's locked, Daddy.
how wide the tires are.
Protect it or lose it.
Has Marines, Army, Navy, different badges in there. Has
Mommy, why are you taping license plate?
it's got its special covers on the motor.
Look at those Corvette.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen this Corvette before.
You wanna drive like that one?
No, they're small.
Small for you?
It's got carbon fiber on the bottom.
See that? Yeah, and then also right there, there's what's it called? If they're standing a mile away or something.
Questions? We appreciate your service. Using the VA for anything? Pardon? Are you using the VA for anything?
And Carterville, Goodfield area?
Where did you work for Woodford County? Like, were you a patrol?
I was an investigator. I know you personally.
Oh, he was a good guy.
Did Ryson become an investigator?
Ron? No, he never did.
She wanted to. That's blood. She wanted to.
The Florida side is blocked off. I don't know, yesterday it was, and the Henry was called right there past
Assessments and interventions.
yeah, the highway. That is cool. So I just don't want to drive all the way down there, and then it's going to be hours to look at. I'm going to drive 474, go to 340 East Road, and go to top of that house. Oh, yeah.
Went out the door. I didn't know if you
Well, young old man, right? Older than me. And he said,
And not like
I'm here already.
just you stand in the middle with Dad.
My husband was walking right behind.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes. Is Sean coming tonight? No.
Festival Philip. That place is so big.
Out here tonight have met Bob Reed because he's probably signed you up for Honor Flight. Good evening and welcome to the 31st Greater Peoria Honor Flight pre-flight dinner. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate you spending the evening with us. I'm Luke Rosenbaum. I am the president of Honor Flight here in Peoria, and I have the honor to go with you tomorrow and experience your day. I do have a couple requests, I guess almost call to actions for you veterans. First off, I need you to be willing to accept a lot of thank yous from now until tomorrow. I know sometimes you're like, just go with this. No, you're gonna have to just take it. You're gonna have to get a lot of thank yous and say thank you back and appreciate it, because this day is about you. This trip is about you, and you're gonna just have a wonderful time. Please let us honor you in the best way we can. One of the things you're gonna need to do tomorrow is be willing to tell stories. So all of you have a guardian going with you tomorrow. Most of you, you're probably related, right? Some of you aren't. I still encourage you, please, to share your stories. If you've got a story for me, I would love to hear it. One thing we don't do good at as veterans, I'm a veteran myself, so I'm guilty of this. Ask my wife, ask my kids. I do not like telling stories, at least I didn't when I was in the service, and I'm trying really hard to make sure I tell my stories now. Tonight, tomorrow, please take the time to tell your stories, because they matter for us to be able to remember you in the way we want to. It was last year we had a flight where a grandson went with his grandfather, and they were sitting right next to you. You'll see the memorial, it's the nurses' memorial down by the Vietnam wall, and he's just telling them stories. 3 weeks later, after that flight, that veteran had passed. And as sad as that is, I find comfort in knowing that that veteran got to share stories with his grandson. And that grandson's going to carry that on for years to come. He's going to tell his kids, and that's how we remember the legacy we leave behind. So as hard as it may be to tell some of these stories, I'm sure some of them include an Article 15 or almost an Article 15, or the first sergeant had to come bail us out, or something along that. The MPs probably were involved at some point in some of these stories. So please tell those stories. Yeah? We're gonna have a lot of those tomorrow, I can tell. I do have one story of my own. Now, if you're in the Air Force, you know that in a squadron bar, there's only 10% of the story has to be true. So I was in Scotland, so that might be the 10% part that was true. But part of that story talks about me breaking into a hangar to steal a part to fix our plane in the dead of night. Maybe more than 10% of that story is true, but there was no MPs and there was no police officers involved. And we did get our mission accomplished, and that's the important thing. Last thing I want to do before we get going tonight, and we do have some dinner, don't worry, I will get to that, I know you can smell it. But I want to say thank you, because I did tell you I was a veteran. I served for almost 16 years in the Air National Guard out here in Peoria. And my experience was different because of all of you serving and making changes. When you didn't like something, you came back and you made it different. You fought the VA. You made sure that when we came home from Afghanistan, Iraq, and all these other places that we're still fighting and trying to keep our country safe, it's different for us. I've never not come home and not been welcomed home. Every time I come home, I am welcomed by my community, my family, and it's because you guys made a difference, because you said what happened years ago, decades ago, it's not going to happen again, and I thank you for that. Tonight is about you, but we will continue to uphold the promise that we will never forget those that made the ultimate sacrifice, those that did not make a home. At this time, will you please welcome the Pekin Junior ROTC as they perform the POW Missing Man ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, the Pekin Community High School Junior Reserve Training Corps Honor Guard under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Harley Tovey will now present the Prisoners of War Mission in Action ceremony. The members of the Honor Guard are Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Harley Tovey, Cadet Captain Jade Burbridge, Cadet Sergeant Travis Maderas, Cadet PFC Ella Mandrell, and Cadet Private Brianna Mascal. And I am First Sergeant Julio Rodriguez. I have been given the privilege and honor of introducing, acknowledging this table, representing and paying tribute to all other prisoners of war, mission in action and killed in action from all American involvements in World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Grenada, the Persian Gulf, Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and more. Many have looked at this table and wondered. Let me explain. This table, set for 5, symbolizes the frailty of the prisoners against the oppressors. Remember, the tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their country's call to arms. Remember, the single candle displayed in the center of the table, it symbolizes of the families and loved ones who kept the faith, waiting for the return of those who dared to them. Remember, the red ribbon tied so prominently on the table is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breast of the many thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper account of our mission and the return of all Americans left on foreign soils. Remember, the lemon on the bread plate reminds us of their bitter fate. Remember, there is salt on the bread plate, symbolic of the tears of the families as they will wait. Remember, glasses are inverted. They cannot toast with us this evening. Remember, the chairs are empty. They are not here. Remember, all of you have served with them. Call them brothers and sisters who depend upon their might and aid and relied upon them. Remember, for surely they have not forgotten us.
The story must be told of valor and bold, so let them write it down in history. A young soldier cries for his comrades who died, fighting for a cause that they believe. But nobody's seen or heard the sound. There was no glory on downtown. We found the land, standing by the wall of fallen heroes. Tell their mothers that their sons are marching in the sky. Tell them that the soldiers of the fatherland. Please tell them so they know. Tell them that they're soldiers of the past. The wounds will never heal, and the feelings that they feel left a scar for all the world to see. But the eagle always flies for the men who fought and died, and it flies for all eternity. Nobody's seen or heard a sound. There was no Puerto Rican downtown. We found last to the black, the 7 mile waterfall that we found. We never let their sun come marching in the sky. Don't let the soldiers of the fatherland please tell them, please tell them so they know. Don't let the soldiers of the fatherland 7 mile waterfall that we found. Tell their parents that their sons are marching in the sky. Don't let the soldiers of the fatherland please tell them so they know. Don't let the soldiers of the fatherland.
See them anymore.
I'm Phyllis Perino. I wanted to tell you that this is my last flight tonight, and it's been an honor to be a part of this for 11 years, but I'm not going to go into the rest of that until later. We have some special guests here tonight, Larry and Shirley Hackman. We would like to welcome them and thank them for their unwavering support of our veterans on their return home to Peoria. As our airport fills with thankful Americans, these two joyously entertain the crowd with their enthusiastic dancing and patriotic attire. Thank you, Larry and Shirley, for your continued support over the years of our veteran heroes. You truly are a part of our Honor Flight family. We will now ask our other very special guests, the Gibson girls, who will be joining us on our flight tomorrow, to please come forward to sing the military branch song. We ask any veterans that wish to stand during their military branch song to please do so. Joining the Gibson girls at their table tonight are 3 very special Greater Peoria Honor Flight alumni veterans, who I am proud to say have become my oldest, literally, and dearest friends. These 3 absolutely adore the Gibson girls and fell in love with their voices when they met them about 5 years ago, and you will too. A heartfelt welcome to 90-year-old World Korean War era veteran Jim Shelton, 96-year-old World War II veteran Bob Lake, and 100-year-old World War II nurse Nora Lehman, who was on our very first flight on June 4th, 2013. Let's give them another round of applause.
to keep honor clean. We're proud to claim the title of United States Marines. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army control
There we go. Let's give him another round of applause. Definitely saw the Army representing pretty good, so these Air Force guys are going to have to step it up tomorrow. All right, we have several things to get covered tonight, but first let's get some dinner. So I've got some instructions for that. So we have 4 lines in each corner. We also have volunteers that will come and release the tables, and you'll head up there. If you at any point need assistance, we have plenty of volunteers around. All volunteers able to help out with getting dinners, please raise your hand now. And we also have some young Marines back there that are eager to help. You probably already got drinks from them. So if you need some help getting back to your table, please don't hesitate.
The memorial is breathtaking. In my mind, the memorial represents freedom for the world. To this day, all of the Pacific is free, all of Europe is free, and thank God America is free.
Honor Flight provides, at no cost to the veteran, the opportunity to see the memorial that the American people have built on our national mall. And I think that there's probably no better organization out there today that can provide something to somebody.
If anyone wants to see the importance of Honor Flight, look into the veterans' eyes and how they tear up when they are brought here.
Yesterday, December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
When they walk into that memorial and they see that their friends will never be forgotten, that the sacrifice that they paid will always be cherished, always revered, always honored by this nation, they're taken back by that. For the World War II veterans, this is their last hurrah. They don't have reunions anymore. Most of their comrades and those have all passed away. Quite often they are the sole survivors of that tank crew or that ship or that air crew. Bringing them into their memorial, they come there representing all of their friends.
Just have to remember where so many comrades are laying out there yet. And just one of these things, before I die, I wanted to see it. Now I go home, and if I croak, so what? I did it.
I'm just sorry my wife couldn't be here. She died about 6 months ago.
The best program I've ever been associated with. We're all in the same fraternity. If it hadn't been for these guys, I don't know where we'd be today or what language we'd speak.
I say about the terrorist Al-Qaeda, if it weren't for these guys, we wouldn't have to worry about terrorists today. We'd already be occupied. We'd already be a different country. And so we owe them a lot.
There are families that we will call up and say, we have a seat available for you today. Only to be told that Dad did not survive the winter. We're racing against the clock. In another 5 to 7 years, it'll be a moot point. They will be gone. We're working as fast as we can, but we need so much support from so many people to make these dreams a reality. This is probably the last chapter of their lives, and for some, it's literally the last paragraph of their lives. What a way to end their stories.
This has been one of the really great days of my life.
I'm sure glad I was able to live long enough to see it.
To serve. It's a simple 5-letter word that means to perform duties or services for another person or an organization. A simple word that has so much meaning. You do not have to be a veteran to serve your country. From the time my sisters and I were little girls, our mom instilled in us a love for our country that was beyond measure. She loved everything red, white, and blue. 4th of July was a very big deal at our house. We always had an American flag flying out in the front yard. She was thankful for everything that flag stood for. Thankful for the freedoms we enjoy every day, but most of all, thankful for, as she put it, being able to take the time to stop and pet a ladybug. What she really meant by that was, take the time to enjoy things in life. Take the time to make a difference in the lives of others. She always taught us to take the time to thank a veteran every time we see one. And what she really meant by that was, take the time to serve your country. For you see, my mother was not a veteran. I am not a veteran. My sisters, Mary and Margaret, are not veterans. We have several volunteers in this very room who are not veterans, and several who are veterans. We have all served our country, and we have served it proudly through Greater Peoria Honor Flight. Hundreds of hours of hard work and dedication goes into the preparation for each flight that we take, from fundraising to outreach, from veteran phone calls to guardian training, from flight check-in to your day in DC, assisted by our medical team and bus captains, to your return home that evening. Our incredible team ensures that every little detail is taken care of. 30 flights of every little detail. But as we celebrate this, our 31st flight, we can rest easy knowing that our amazing coordinators and volunteers will continue to ensure that your day of honor will be, as many of our veterans have stated, more organized than the Marines. At this time, we would like to recognize 2 very special people who have been a part of the Honor Flight for several years by coming to represent the military at our Welcome Home celebrations. Would Luke and Yvonne please come forward? So you've already met our President Luke. The other is his wife Yvonne, who, like me, has a kind, caring servant's heart and wants to help make this day, your day of honor, the most amazing day of your life. She brings a Scottish humor that is a breath of fresh air and sure to make you smile. These two, along with their 3 adorable boys, have not only become a special part of the Honor Flight family, they have become a part of my family. Together we have laughed, cried, shared a lot of cups of coffee together, basted the Thanksgiving turkey together, and I have even treated them to my mom's homemade hot fudge sauce, secret recipe. So you know you're special when that happens. My sisters and I are so thankful that Greater Peoria Honor Flight is in the hands of people who are just as passionate about veterans as we are. So this is Yvonne and Luke, and they're awesome, and they're gonna, all our great incredible volunteers are gonna keep this going for years to come. We are proud here at Greater Peoria Honor Flight that we make your day of honor an extra special day that you will never forget. Would all our Honor Flight volunteers involved in making this flight possible please stand, and let's give them a huge round of applause. Every flight we have taken has had veterans who walk onto the airplane or are pushed in their wheelchair to board the plane with excitement and anticipation for their day in DC. But also veteran heroes who fluff up their patriotic angel wings, spread them wide, and guide us safely to our nation's capital. They join us at every memorial and proudly fly behind our veterans as they gaze upon the polished slabs of granite and marble and the faces of the cast figures made of bronze and stainless steel that conjure up so many memories for our heroes. Tomorrow's flight has 2 very special angels on board. One who was not a veteran but was a proud, patriotic wife of a Navy pilot, my mother Shirley Hanley, and the other, my best buddy, World War II veteran Gene Neely, who was my sidekick, that's him calling, who was my sidekick for 10 years, working tirelessly to send our heroes to DC. Together, these 2 will ensure our day runs smoothly, that I can guarantee. These 2 angels have had more influence on me and my sisters, Mary and Margaret, in regards to Greater Peoria Honor Flight than anyone else. These 2 angels taught us to love our country, the greatest country in the world, beyond measure, to give back to those who fought for our freedom, and to never give up, making sure every little detail is perfect, to make this day of honor for you in DC the greatest day of your life. These 2 angels never met on earth, but I am certain they are together in heaven right now, smiling down at us and probably sharing a laugh or 2 that I'm up here trying to hold it together tonight and not sob like a water faucet. These angels are the essence of Greater Peoria Honor Flight and why we do what we do, and I hope we have made you proud.
I was going to do this from memory, but my wife told me at my age, maybe I'd better just read it. So Phyllis, excuse me, I thought this was going to be done in April, but it got moved to June, and until just a few days ago, I didn't realize that this was going to be your last flight. So before I get choked up, I'm going to just go on. In the years that I've been a volunteer, I've been in awe of your passion, dedication, and hard work that make each flight so successful. When veterans return home from their flights, you see their faces when they come down that ramp, hear their stories. It's all a tribute to all that you've done. But in those years, I've also noticed something else. I've never witnessed you being honored. So a few months ago, I came up with an idea and ran it by a few people. They said I should go with it, but include you and your sister. So with that being said, I approached two very good friends, Jim and Jamie Poirier, who have just recently become volunteers. And they too have a passion for veterans. They have a business called Pear Talents, and they make things. I told them my idea, and they said no problem. They're very excellent at what they do, and they're licensed with all the military organizations. So Phyllis and Margaret, on behalf of the Honor Flight volunteers, we would like to present you with these.
Unlike Joe, I did memorize my speech, so. But, when I was a little boy, my family, we didn't go to church, but we did go to Sunday school. Anybody here go to Sunday school? Okay. So you remember this. I remember a little song that we learned as just little kids about a foolish man, a wise man. And of course, if you know that song, you know the foolish man built his house on the sand. The best part of that we liked was when it came the time to where the storms came and the winds blew, and it blew his house down with a smack, and we boys really liked doing that. Well, now, the other part of that story was the wise man, and the wise man built his house on a rock. And the storms came and the winds blew, and his house stood. Phyllis, Margaret, and Mary have built the Greater Peoria Honor Flight. On solid rock. It's on a good, firm foundation. They have provided through Honor Flight the catalyst to heal many formerly broken lives. Some of them in this room. With at least 22 veterans dying by suicide per day, only God knows how many lives these women have saved by their hard work they have done and the volunteers they have guided through 31 honor flights. Over those 31 honor flights, at least 2,325 veterans have enjoyed their day in DC. They have provided closure for those of the greatest generation as we've probably taken our last World War II veteran. What if Margaret had not followed her gut to go on an honor flight out of Springfield as a guardian twice and felt the need to start the Greater Peoria Honor Flight? It points out the importance of listening to that still small voice. Now, as our new president, Luke Rosenbaum, takes the reins, we commit to continue the work which that has been built on a solid foundation begun 11 years ago. Let's continue to focus on what Phyllis, Margaret, and Mary focused on over all these years. Veterans.
Thank you guys for doing that. From the bottom of my heart, I know you know how much it means to me. We couldn't have done what we did these last 11 years without the support of our families that put up with a lot. Stacks of stuff in my house, me on the computer for hours, probably have an indentation in my couch from doing Honor Flight. So it's always funny when veterans, so where's your office? I'm like, I'm sitting right here on my living room couch, got dinner on the stove. Oh, is it a good time? Like, it's always a good time to talk to a veteran. So it's been an honor. Yeah, we could not have done what we did without the support of our incredible, wonderful, amazing husbands at the back of the room. And my kids, I spent a lot of hours away from my kids. They knew I was passionate about this. And it was a labor of love to honor my mother. So thank you guys again. It's truly been an honor to serve for 11 years doing this. At this time, Tom from the medical team is going to give you some important medical reminders.
I'll just talk for a quick second, Tom, I promise. So when I started the Honor Flight with this very small group of people, I wasn't married, I didn't have a baby. I thought, this is gonna be the greatest thing I ever do in my life. But the greatest thing I have ever done in my life is sitting back there. And her name is Shirley Williams, after my mom. So when folks talked about her passion, she's 9, Honor Flight's 11, so I'm handing off my 11-year-old baby to 2 people who I know are gonna keep raising it just fine, so thank you.
Good luck topping that, Tom.
I'm not going to top that. So to lighten things up a little bit, I also want to thank Phyllis and Margaret for being my sisters. They're awesome. So the medical team has some really important information for all of you. So tomorrow you'll see these yellow shirts everywhere you go. And so they'll be following you. We have 1 doctor, 4 nurses, 5 paramedics, and so they will be alongside you the entire journey. So a few important things. Use the restroom before you board the plane. The ones in the plane are very tiny. Oxygen users, please charge your concentrator batteries tonight and bring your concentrator battery chargers with you tomorrow morning. We will have oxygen concentrators available for you prior to the boarding of the airplane and begin your trip to Washington, D.C. If you're diabetic and checking your sugars, make sure your glucose monitor batteries are charged and good. If you're on insulin, we'll have cooler and ice available tomorrow to store the insulin. Please bring 2 days of medicine, 1 for the flight day and 1 just in case we have to stay for any reason. It's never happened in 30 flights, but we like to be prepared just in case. If there is any medical question or problem anytime tonight or tomorrow, have a guardian look for anyone in a yellow shirt. Do not hesitate to look for anyone in a yellow shirt if necessary. We will be carrying extra hygiene supplies, undergarments, clothing, along with extra concentrator batteries and various medical supplies if needed. Now I want to take a little extra special chance to talk about Lutheran Hillside Village, who has quite a few people in the audience tonight with 11 veterans, 11 volunteers.
We are second to none when it comes to the Honor Flight program that we have here today. Thank you for these 3 girls' visions and doing everything they've done. Some time ago, I received an email from one of our hardworking volunteers, and I refer to it quite often. It's very simple, to the point. Start off each day with a smile and a prayer. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today Today's a gift. It's called the present. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on this holy and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Glory, 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 hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Oh, glory, 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 hallelujah. His truth is marching on from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Let freedom ring.
Which we're done now.
Yeah. You go to the bathroom.